Welcome back to Haunted Earth, Terror Beyond the Grave. This season, we're exploring the chilling tales of abandoned train stations, those desolate junctions where spirits linger and forgotten histories refuse to die. Tonight, we unearth the station master's secret. Imagine a train station, sealed shut since the height of the Second World War in 1943. A place forgotten by time, its platforms silent, its tracks rusting into memory. For decades, it was a tomb of brick and steel, left to the ghosts of its past. No one was meant to enter, and certainly no one was meant to uncover what lay hidden deep within its decaying walls. The townspeople whispered tales about it, stories of strange noises and fleeting shadows. But they were just stories, weren't they? Then, after nearly 80 years of silence, the town decided to finally assess the old structure. A new caretaker, a young man named Arthur, was hired to survey the property, tasked with cataloging what remained of the station before its potential demolition. He was warned about the local legends, of course, but he laughed them off. Arthur was a practical man, grounded in the here and now, with little time for ghost stories. His first week was uneventful. He methodically went through the main hall, the ticket office, the waiting rooms. Dust lay thick as a shroud on every surface, and the air was heavy with the smell of damp and decay. It was on the fifth day, in a forgotten corner of the baggage claim area, that he made a discovery. Behind a row of rusted, heavy-duty lockers that seemed to have been deliberately pushed against the wall, he found the faint outline of a door. It wasn't on any of the station's original blueprints. Curiosity, a powerful and often dangerous force, took hold. It took him the better part of an hour, straining with a crowbar, but finally the old lockers screeched away from the wall, revealing a small, stout wooden door with a simple, tarnished brass knob. It was unlocked. The air that wafted out as he opened it was stale, but strangely preserved, like opening a time capsule. Inside was a small, cramped office, a space no larger than a closet. Everything was perfectly in place, as if its occupant had just stepped out for a moment. A coat hung on a hook, a pair of glasses rested on a stack of timetables, and an old-fashioned lamp sat on a small wooden desk. But it was the object lying open in the center of the desk that drew Arthur's gaze. A leather-bound journal. The ink on the page was faded but still legible. The entries detailed the mundane, day-to-day operations of the station. But the final entry was different. The handwriting was frantic, scrawled across the page. It was dated October 31st, 1943, the very day the station was sealed. It consisted of a single chilling instruction: do not let the 12:15 in. Arthur felt a shiver trace its way down his spine. The 12:15? He checked the old timetables. There was no train scheduled for that time, not on any day of the week. He dismissed it as the ramblings of a stressed station master from a bygone era. He closed the journal, left the secret office, and continued his work, though the words echoed in his mind. That night, a storm rolled in, lashing the old station with wind and rain. Arthur was preparing to leave when the station's emergency power grid, long thought dead, suddenly flickered to life. The overhead lights hummed and buzzed, casting long, dancing shadows down the empty platform. And then he heard it, faintly at first, then growing steadily louder, the unmistakable sound of a train. Its whistle pierced the night, a mournful, lonely cry that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. His heart hammered in his chest. He glanced at his watch. It was 12:13 a.m. The 12:15 was coming. When Arthur didn't report for work the next morning, the authorities were called. They searched the entire station, finding it empty and silent once more. The only sign of him was his caretaker's cap, lying on the floor of the main hall. Finally, they discovered the hidden office behind the lockers. Everything was as Arthur had found it, untouched and coated in a fine layer of dust. Everything except for the station master's journal, which lay open on the desk. And below the frantic entry from 1943 in fresh, dark ink that was barely dry was a new two-word entry. It read, "I let it in." Want to uncover the full story behind the station master's secret? Find out what really happened on that fateful night in 1943 by watching the full video linked right here for you to explore. Scared yet? For your next dose of horror, make sure to subscribe and follow our channel. We have so many more dark corners of the earth to explore together. Thank you for watching.